विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 62, Text 20, 21 and 22. Text 20. चित्रलेखातमाज्ञाय पौत्रं कृष्णस्य योगिनी ययौ विहाय सा राजन् द्वारकां कृष्णपालिताम्। All translations and purports are by the humble disciples of our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Translation. Chitralekha, endowed with mystic powers, recognized him as Krishna's grandson, Aniruddha. My dear king, Sri Shukdev Goswami is telling King Parikshit, my dear king, then Chitralekha traveled by the mystic skyway all the way to Dwarka, the city which was Krishna Palitam, city which was protected by Lord Krishna. Chitralekha went there. Chitralekha is the friend of Usha. Usha is the daughter of the king Banasur. And she is getting these dreams about her lover. And being a friend, Chitralekha, who is very good at making chitra, drawing, paintings, she drew paintings of different heroes. And finally, Usha was able to recognize that the person I'm seeing in my dreams repeatedly is this person. And Chitralekha understood that this is Krishna's grandson. Krishna's son from Rukmini is Pradyumna, and Pradyumna's son is Aniruddha. This is Aniruddha. So she goes to Dwarka, which is Krishna's kingdom. Text 21. Tatra suptam suparyanke pradyumnim yogamasthita grihitva shonita puram sakhyai priyam adarshayat. There in Dwarka, Chitralekha, the friend of Usha, found Pradyumna's son Aniruddha. Pradyumnim means the son of Pradyumna. Aniruddha. Paryanke, Su-Paryanke. He was sleeping on a very fine bed. Aniruddha was sleeping. So Chitralekha must have gone there at night. With her yogic power, she took Aniruddha away to Shonitapur, which was the city of Banasur. She brought Aniruddha in his sleep to Shonitapur, where she presented her friend Usha with her beloved. Sakhyai Priyam Adarshaya. She showed, look, Usha, this is Aniruddha. Isn't he the one you have been dreaming of every night? Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments as follows on this verse, number 21. It is stated here that Chitralekha resorted to mystic power, yogam asthita. She used her mystic powers to carry Aniruddha to Shonitapur. As explained in Sri Harivamsha, which is one of the Vedic literatures, Puranic literatures, as stated in Sri Harivamsha and other literatures, Chitralekha needed to employ her powers because when she arrived at Dwarka, she found herself unable to enter Lord Krishna's city. Dwarakam Krishna Palitam. Dwarka city is protected by Krishna. So Chitralekha found herself unable to enter the city of Dwarka. At that time, Shri Narad Muni instructed her in the mystic art of entering. So this is a good lesson for all of us that no matter how great we are, we will not be able to enter Krishna's understanding of Krishna, or to enter the realm of Krishna unless and until we take shelter of a pure devotee of Krishna. Here clearly it is mentioned that Chitralekha could not enter until she understood the secret of entering from Shri Narad Muni, who is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So at that time, Shri Narad Muni instructed Chitralekha on the mystic art of entering Dwarka. So the gates of the spiritual world will be opened to us by the causeless mercy. It's not that Chitralekha gave some money, some donation to Narad Muni. No, it is a causeless mercy. When we come in contact with a sadhu, when we come in contact with a pure devotee, the doors of Golok Vrindavan open up, especially if we serve them. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimuktes. By serving the Mahat, the great souls, the doors of liberation, the doors of the spiritual world open for us. As soon as Chitralekha met Sri Narad Muni, she was able to enter the kingdom of Krishna. Some authorities also say that Chitralekha is herself an expansion of Yoga Maya. Different acharyas have given different angles of vision. They say that she is herself an expansion of Yoga Maya, which is the spiritual potency of Krishna. And the last verse, text number 22. Sachatam sundara varam vilokya muditanana dushprekshye swagrihe pumbhi reme pradyumina samam. When Usha beheld Aniruddha, Aniruddha means Pradyumni, the son of Pradyumna. When Usha beheld Aniruddha, who is Sundaravaram, the most beautiful, most handsome man, her face lit up with joy. Muditanana. When she saw the, the hero she had been seeing in her dreams, Usha's face lit up with joy. It is said that the face is the mirror of the mind, and the eyes are the mirror to the soul. Vilokya muditanana. As soon as she beheld Aniruddha, she became overjoyed and her face lit up with joy. She took the son of Pradyumna, means Aniruddha. Usha took Aniruddha to her private quarters, Swagrihe, to her own private quarters, which men were forbidden even to see. Dushprekshe. Other people could not, the men could not even come there. They had no entry. Reme Pradyumna Samam. There, in her private chambers, where no other man could come, Usha, Reme, she enjoyed conjugal love with this handsome hero, Aniruddha, the grandson of Krishna. So that's where our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam pauses for today, where we see that finally Usha, the beautiful princess, was united with literally the man of her dreams, Aniruddha, the grandson of Lord Krishna, and then they enjoyed together in her private chambers, unseen by anyone else. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. It is the best spiritual literature that the Vedic library has to offer us. So, certainly, this is not the bedroom activity of an ordinary young lady with a handsome man that she has met. This is not mundane lust. This is not ordinary sexual activity that happens everywhere in this material world. Otherwise, a lifelong celibate monk like Sri Shukdev Goswami would not be telling this to another exalted devotee, Maharaj Parikshit, who has given up all comforts, luxuries, even necessities like food and sleep to hear transcendental literature. So here is Maharaj Parikshit on his deathbed, very serious about making spiritual advancement. And Sri Shukdev Goswami, a fully self realized pure devotee, they are conversing, and this story is being narrated. So there has to be something very deep, which might not be obvious when we do a casual reading. Oh, this is a woman, young, beautiful princess dreaming, having lusty dreams about a male, and her friend unites them, and then they go to the inner chambers and they are enjoying themselves together. On the surface, it may seem like this, but this is certainly not what it actually is. All of us are Prakriti. We are Krishna's energy. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Our Vedic scriptures tell us that the Supreme Lord has many, many Shaktis, different types of energies and powers. This whole material world, consisting of earth, water, fire, etc., is the external energy of Krishna. And this includes everything that we can see, touch, feel, taste, hear. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, Am. This is all gross elements of this material world. And there are subtle elements also, like mind, intelligence, and false ego. And these are all together, the gross material elements and the subtle energy of Krishna together is the external energy of Krishna. Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. Five gross elements, three subtle elements. Mind, intelligence, false ego are the subtle elements. Earth, water, fire, air, ether are the gross elements. Together, 5 plus 3, 8. These Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. These 8 are the separated Prakriti, separated energy of Krishna, called the Bahiranga Shakti or external potency of Krishna. The entire spiritual world, consisting of all the Vaikuntha planets, Ayodhya planet, Golok Vrindavan planet, together all of them are a manifestation of Krishna's internal energy, internal potency called Chid Shakti. All this is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The spiritual world is the product of the internal energy of Krishna, Chid Shakti, spiritual energy. And then there is something in between called Tatastha Shakti or marginal potency. There is the internal potency of Krishna, external potency of Krishna, and in the middle, there is the marginal potency of Krishna, which consists of all of us, all the souls, all the living entities, human beings, demigods, demons, insects, birds, plants, animals, reptiles, everyone, microbes. We are all souls, we are all living entities. Mamai amsha jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana. We also have a connection with Krishna and we belong to the marginal potency. According to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sri Jaiva Dharma, this marginal potency is an offshoot of the internal potency. Remember, there is the internal potency which manifests the spiritual world eternally. There is the external potency which manifests the material world, which is unlike the spiritual world. The spiritual world is always steady, it's eternal, it is nirvikar, it does not undergo changes. Whereas the material world, in a cyclical way, keeps undergoing different changes. It is never steady, it's always in a state of flux, the material world, which is what we are experiencing. And in middle, there is the offshoot of the spiritual potency, offshoot of the internal potency called marginal energy, marginal potency, which consists of all the jivas, all of us, all the living entities. So who do we have an inherent relationship with the internal energy or the external energy? It's the internal energy. Because the Tatastha Shakti, the marginal potency, the Jiva Shakti, is an offshoot of the internal potency. Therefore, Krishna says, Mama Amsha. We are part of Krishna directly. And Krishna is all spiritual, Satchidananda Vigraha. So we are also Satchidananda Vigraha, but because we are marginal, we are constitutionally in the middle of these two energies, we have a tendency to go either ways. We can either take shelter of the external energy, which we all have, taken shelter of the external energy, or we can take shelter of the internal energy of Krishna, the spiritual energy of Krishna. And this choice we have every moment, moment to moment. Our Jeffrey Ackler, Prabhu, is driving home, driving to office, beg your pardon. He's driving to office. So he has an option. Either he can tune into Srimad Bhagavatam, or like in the beginning, he was chanting his rounds. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which Srila Prabhupada explains is completely on the spiritual platform. So either we can take shelter of the spiritual energy or we can take shelter of the external energy. We tune into some radio, some mundane music, Hollywood, this, that. Immediately we are under the material energy. The choice is ours. Every moment it's a choice. And bhakti means to keep Krishna in the center. That is bhakti center. To keep Krishna in the center and to make conscious choices to choose Krishna over the material energy. In the material energy, the whole principle is I want to enjoy. I am in a male body and I want to enjoy with another body that I feel attracted to. This is called lust. In the spiritual world, Krishna is in the center. And we want to give pleasure to Krishna, which is our natural position. It's our constitutional position. Just like in the United States of America, it is natural to follow the law of the land, the American Constitution. It's natural to follow. That is the default setting. We are brought up, we are taught by our parents, we are taught in school how to follow the laws of the land. If there is a stop sign, you stop, come to a complete stop, then go. Simple things. We are taught to follow the laws. But a deviation is when we break these laws. And then there is punishment, misdemeanor, felony. There are different levels of breaking the law. And consequently, there are different punishments based on how severe the offense is. Similarly, in this world, we can either follow Krishna's rules or we can break the rules that Krishna has set for all of us. In the material world, there is lust, where we become the enjoyers. I want to enjoy with this body. If I come in contact with this body, then I will be very happy. I will enjoy such gratification, such sexual gratification. That is the basis of lust in this world. And lust is an enemy that affects all of us. When we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, when we are in the association of devotees, when we are chanting, it may be let me mute everyone. Okay. When we are in the association of devotees practicing bhakti, it may be that we don't feel lusty. We feel very Krishna conscious and protected. But the moment we lose the association of devotees, we are overwhelmed by feelings of lust, anger, greed, etc. I saw a nice t shirt that read, all problems start when Kirtan stops. I liked it very much. When we are in Kirtan, Thursday evening Kirtan at the Bhakti Center, in the divine presence of Shri Radha Murlidhar, Shri Gauranga, and our Varaha Narsimadev Shaligram Shila, Srila Prabhupada, and our Acharyas, and such sincere devotees who have come to participate in the Harinam Sankirtan, we don't feel agitated by lust, anger, greed. All problems start when Kirtan stops. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always do Kirtan. Either hear Kirtan, do Kirtan, or think of Kirtan. Some way or the other, we have to think of Krishna. Yena kena prakarena manah Krishna niveshayet. Somehow or the other, Srila Rupa Goswami advises you take your mind and offer it to Krishna. Man mana. Offer your mind to me. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. Krishna says, therefore, you should always think of me. We should somehow or the other try to think of Krishna. Prabhupada did that, practically demonstrated that when he would go on morning walks. He would show ordinary things and connect them to Krishna to remind all of us that we are supposed to think of Krishna all the time. So, in this material world, there is lust, which is the greatest enjoyment in this world. There are so many forms of enjoyment. The ultimate enjoyment is sexual gratification in the material world. And there are different forms of this sexual gratification. One may be straight, one may be gay, there are so many flavors to it. The honest truth is, whether we are straight or whether we are LGBTQ, whatever we are, from a spiritual point of view, all forms of sexual gratification in this world takes us away from Krishna and Radharani. This is just the straight truth. Because Krishna is the enjoyer. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. Krishna is the Bhokta. He is the enjoyer. We are not. And the whole premise, the whole basis of sexual gratification is I am the enjoyer. I want to enjoy with my senses. My mind, my skin, my genitals. I want to enjoy. So no matter who we are, whether we are straight or whether we are heterosexual, that's the proper term, whether we are heterosexual or homosexual or LGBTQ, whoever we are, as long as our mind is thinking that sexual gratification is fun, sexual gratification is gratification, sexual gratification is enjoyment, we have got it all wrong. Hare Krishna. Doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter what the designation is. Any form of sexual activity takes us away from Krishna, except if it is performed according to dharma. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dharma aviruddha kameshu. If sexual gratification is according to dharma, it is not against dharma, then it represents me, Krishna says. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmin Bharatarshava. O best among the descendants of Bharat, O Arjun, if sexual activity is in line with the principles of true dharma, true religion, then it represents me. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmin bharatarshava. So it's not that we have to give up all forms of sex, but sexual activity, when a man and a woman are married, legally married, spiritually based on the Vedic scriptures, they are married by the Vedic Paddhati, and they take a vow that we will be loyal to each other, faithful to each other, and to procreate children, which is a natural urge of every species to propagate the species. There is a natural urge. When sexual gratification is experienced for that purpose, it is not breaking the regulative principles of dharma, of religion. It is authorized by Krishna, and it will not take us away from Krishna. But it has to be regulated, it has to be approved by the holy scriptures. Otherwise, all forms of sexual gratification keeps us bound in this material world, and this material world is a place of suffering. In the spiritual world, there is spiritual sexual activity. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explains this. And this is called Adiras, the original relationship in the spiritual world. The most advanced, elevated, exalted relationship in the spiritual world is a conjugal relationship. Believe it or not. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. But this is not the lusty relationship as we understand it in this material world. It's a relationship of pure love. There is the Shantaras, the relationship with Krishna of neutrality, where we are overwhelmed with love for Krishna and we simply appreciate Krishna. Simply appreciate Krishna with all the love that we have. Krishna, you are so wonderful. I just want to be with you. This is Shantaras, neutrality. Higher than that is Dasya Ras. Rasa means a flavor that we taste in a relationship. Dasya Ras is the relationship with Krishna of servitude, to become a servant of Krishna. In this, the overwhelming love becomes even more condensed. And now it's not just that Krishna, I love you. Krishna, you're so wonderful. Now it's, yes, Krishna, I love you. Yes, Krishna, you're so wonderful. And therefore, I want to serve you. I want to do something for you. That's called Dasyaras. And then we engage ourselves in various services. I will offer arti to you. I will cook for you, Krishna. I will make dress for you. I will make garlands for you. I will clean your temple. Various services. This is a natural progression of love. When this love becomes even more condensed, concentrated, then a feeling comes, yes, Krishna, I love you. You are wonderful. I want to serve you. But the relationship becomes so intimate that now we don't consider Krishna as the master and ourselves as the servant. The relationship becomes so intimate that we think Krishna is my best friend. Krishna and I are on the same level. We play together, we eat together, we graze the cows together, we do everything. Krishna is my best friend because of the intimacy. You know, sometimes when we are in the university, we very much respect our seniors. And then when we graduate, we become colleagues. And that person who was our mentor in a training program, now after a few years, we become colleagues and best friends, isn't it? Because now there is more intimacy. Now we are equals. Same thing happens in the spiritual world, where the relationship of servitude, when you add more love to it, more intimacy to it, then it becomes an informal relationship of friendship called Sakhya, Sakhyarati, relationship of friendship. When Sakhyarati becomes even more condensed, even more concentrated, even more advanced, the feeling comes that Krishna and me are not equal. Krishna is subordinate to me. Krishna is dependent on me. I have to cook for Krishna. I have to feed Krishna. If I don't feed him, he will starve. Krishna will get into trouble. I have to protect him. Krishna, don't go near Yamuna. There is Kaliya, snake there. Krishna, be careful when you go to the forest. Some thorns and sharp pebbles might hurt your soft feet. This type of protective, um, overwhelming love, where we think and believe that Krishna is dependent on us, is called Vatsalyarati. Parental love, where we think Krishna as one of our, as our child. We have to protect Krishna. This parental love. And when this parental love becomes highly evolved and reaches its zenith, parakashtha, reaches the ultimate stage of evolution, the highest love, it becomes so intense and so intimate that it includes the love of neutrality, servitude, friendship, parental love, and much more. Now, the intimacy is so much that the relationship with Krishna is the only relationship that matters. Because, see, in parental love, yes, Yashoda Maya loves Krishna, but Yashoda Maya also has a relationship with Nanda Baba, her husband. But in Madhurya Rati, which is the fifth rasa, fifth relationship, which is the highest, there is so much love for Krishna that the relationship with Krishna is completely overwhelming to the consciousness, and no other relationship matters. Pati sutanvaya bhratra bandhavan ati vilangyate achyutagata. For the sake of Achyut, the gopis broke all family relationships with their husbands, with their children, with their in-laws, with their parents, social relationships, social boundaries. They gave up everything for the sake of Krishna. This is called conjugal love or Madhurya Rati or Adiras. This is completely spiritual. It's the perfection of love. And this is what we are reading between Aniruddha and Usha, who are forms of the Supreme Lord with his pleasure potency, Ladini Shakti. Aniruddha is a expansion of the expansion of Krishna, and so is Usha, who is an expansion of the goddess of fortune. So these are spiritual relationships. They exist in the spiritual world, and because this is Adi Ras, the original relationship, it exists in the spiritual world. Therefore, it exists in the material world in a perverted form. For example, if I ask Mike, Mike, why does your shirt have two hands? Show us your two hands. Why do you have two sleeves? Because the wearer of the t-shirt has two hands. Correct? Your t-shirt has two sleeves because the wearer, which is you, Mike Prabhu, you have two hands. That's why my shirt has two hands because I have two hands. So similarly, this material world, the Holy Bible explains, man is made in the image of God. Because Krishna and his associates have two hands, we have two hands. Because Krishna has two eyes, we have two eyes. Because Krishna has a nose, we have a nose. Because Krishna has hair, we have hair. Just like because I have two hands, my shirt has two hands. The shirt is made in the image of the wearer. Man is made in the image of God. It's not that these scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, are some fairy tales, some mythology. Oh, how can this Chitralekha fly in the airways and bring someone from Dwarka to another city? How is it possible? Why is it not possible? If modern man can make airplanes which can transport people every day from one city to another, I can take a flight and come to New York by this evening. If this is possible, why in the presence of Krishna, why in the Vedic culture, which was more advanced, more subtle, this is not possible? We use machines, yantra today, but that was the age of mantra, where by chanting mantra, you could accomplish what we can accomplish with huge machinery and industries. This is the industrial age. That was the age of mantras. By chanting subtle sound vibrations, you could achieve. So these are the descriptions of the spiritual world. and we should take inspiration from them, that one day I want to enter the spiritual world where I will no longer have mundane lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego, and I will be ecstatic um, being in the spiritual world, assisting in the eternal loving pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Murlidhar. So that is the message we learn from today's verses. I will pause here for any reflections, questions, and answers. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you have any, you want to make any comments or have any questions, please kindly raise your hands. Yes. Temple room. You can please unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You got muted again, Prabhuji. Can you unmute and start over, please? Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Can you hear me now? Okay. Prabhu, my question is, could you explain how each rasa in the spiritual world is perfect in itself? For example, the cows or the flutes may be in Shanta ras or neutral ras. The cowherd friends might be in friendship ras, but they're perfect and like they don't maybe escalate to a different rasa. Could you explain how that works?
Yes. Thank you for this wonderful question, Prabhu. So I'm sharing my screen. This is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Adi Leela, chapter 4, the confidential reasons for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. There, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying very beautiful verses 42 and 43. दास्य सख्य वात्सल्य आरजे श्रृंगार चारि प्रेम चतुर्विध भक्त ए आधार. Four kinds of devotees are the recipients of four kinds of mellows in love of God. What are they? Dasya, servitude; Sakhya, friendship; Vatsalya, parental love for Krishna; and Shringar, which means Madhurya or Adiras, conjugal love. There are four main mellows. Neutrality or Shantaras is not given so much importance by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because there is no service to Krishna. So we start with service. So Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Four kinds of relationships are there. Now, this is exactly what you were pointing out, Prabhu. Text 43. Nija nija bhava sabhe shrishta kari mane, nija bhave kare Krishna sukha aswadane. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent. Nija nija bhava sabe shrishta kari mane. They think that my love for Krishna, my relationship with Krishna is perfect for me. Nija bhave kare Krishna sukha aswadane. And each devotee in his or her particular relationship with Krishna tastes great happiness. Kare Krishna sukha aswadane. They taste great happiness in their relationship with Krishna. So each devotee is completely satisfied in his personal relationship with Krishna. For example, Mother Yashoda will never think that I want to become a friend of Krishna. Or Madhumangal will not think I want to become a parent of Krishna. Or Lalita Sakhi will not think that I want to become a servant of Krishna. A servant of Krishna, Chitrak, will not think that I want to become a gopi. Because every devotee is completely satisfied in his or her unique relationship with Krishna. So, does that answer your question, Prabhuji? This verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yes, I believe so. Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Bruce Prabhu. You can unmute, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Your
Krishna.
classes are always so powerful and ecstatic and definitely thought-provoking. And I have two questions today. First question is, if our sexual activities are not approved by the Vedas, and we go out into this material world, living in New York City or any other city, or go to the beach, however, and Krishna facilitates this distraction so emphatically everywhere we turn. Men and women are half naked in the street. Intoxication. It's just he facilitates this in so many ways to us. Why? Why does he challenge our senses to such extreme levels for us to control? Is it simply to just intensify the depth of that relationship? How and why is he testing us so greatly with this most powerful sense gratification? The other question is same-sex marriages. If devotees are so unique with their relationship with Krishna, what is the position of ISKCON now in same-sex relationships in terms of accepting this loving exchange that couples can have outside of different sex
Hare
marriages and relationships? Because they're experiencing beautiful time or reciprocation of love to Krishna. Where do they fall, and how does ISKCON hold them in terms of level of acceptance in their loving experiences?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bruce Prabhu, for both your questions, which are very sincere questions and very important also. First question, why does Krishna test us with so many temptations? Actually, it is like this. Suppose I plan a trip to Las Vegas because I want to go and enjoy there. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I want to go there and really want to enjoy. And I've planned my vacation. I do the Airbnb, I book the flight tickets, I go there to enjoy. And there I see so much temptation. And I question myself, oh, why did God put me in this situation? Why, oh, why am I being tested? Well, I asked for it. I paid for it. I, I, I put the coin in the jukebox. Now I have to dance. So we have asked for this material world. But now, after coming here, we realize that really this enjoyment is not sustainable. How long can I have sex? It lasts 5 to 10 minutes, and I have to work so hard to get it. And then it's there and it's gone. And then I'm left feeling that, oh, I just lost my spiritual potency for this 5 minutes of pleasure. Why did I do it? I will not do it again. And a week later, again, for lust. We are again high fever with lust. That's the cycle of our life. And if we are not able to have licit sex and we are indulging in illicit sex, um, that's okay. We should be honest with ourselves. And I would say, because I talk to so many devotees, I would say more than 90% of devotees who are initiated in ISKCON struggle with this. And that includes me. I will be honest in front of all of you. It is very difficult to be celibate. It is very difficult to give up sex life. It's a formidable enemy. Vishwamitra Muni could not do it. Bilvamangal Thakur could not do it. These were very great devotees. So it's a formidable enemy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Vedinam Eho Vairina. There's a Vairi. It's a very, very formidable enemy, lust. So it's okay if we are having weakness. Once a devotee asked my spiritual master, His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that why are devotees hypocrites? They talk about being pure and being celibate and they are having sex. They are hypocrites. And my spiritual master responded that you don't have to look at them as hypocrites. They are struggling. They're trying. They're trying, and it's hard. It is hard. The history of this world is um, attests to the fact that it is very, very hard to give up sexual desires. You see the Christian faith, You see the Vedic, the Vaishnava faith, there are so many examples. David and Goliath, that David, who was so powerful, he could kill Goliath, he fell victim to lust later on, isn't it? In our scriptures also, there are innumerable examples of devotees falling prey to lust. So lust is a formidable enemy. It was a formidable enemy in Satya Yuga when things were pure. What to speak of Kali Yuga? And what to speak of New York, which is a playground of Maya. So it is hard, and we have to learn to forgive ourselves and just be true to ourselves, that yes, be honest with ourselves. Yes, I struggle with this. This is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to improve myself, and I'm going to work towards it. And one thing that we can all do today is try to get into situations where the temptations will increase. Like going to, in this example that I gave you, planning a vacation to Las Vegas with the intention of enjoying. We go there and then we find it, oh, it's so difficult. Yeah, because you got into the middle of the cyclone, you got into the hurricane. you, you tried to test the power of the hurricane and now you're coming for help. So don't go to websites where lust will increase. Don't browse things, and that's a conscious decision that we have to make. Just don't click on that website, just don't do that, because you go there, you have a certain associate, you see certain things, you read certain things, and the lust increases, and then you find different avenues to fulfill that lust. So it's a conscious choice that no, I am not going to go there, I'm not going to go there. That is on us. As far as your second question is concerned, ISKCON is for everyone. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. ISKCON is a movement where we come to uh, reawaken our love for Krishna, re-establish our relationship with Krishna, and make our lives sublime and perfect. And it is for everyone, Mahaprabhu said. It's for everyone. Prabhupada came to US and he was preaching to the hippies, he was preaching to those who were heterosexuals and homosexuals and everyone. ISKCON is for everyone. And we have to just be honest with ourselves that this is where I am. And this is the stage of perfection. And someday I will get there. And we should work towards it, no matter where we are in our journey. Okay, Bruce? I think the darshan.
Beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, Adi is the only devotee who has that setting on their phone where we can have sound.
How do I?
We can hear with our eyes. In Krishna consciousness, those things are interchangeable. We can drink with our ears. We can hear with our eyes sometimes. I see Bhima Prabhu and Baba Prabhu have their hands up. Is that a question on homosexuality? No?
No, my question was mine was the question about marriage.
Okay, let me see.
Banning, you know, that's what,
Here's here. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
my question was about, you know, is this including in marriage, like in a loving, committed marriage?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Within marriage, sexual relationship is sanctioned, as we discussed earlier. It is for begetting children and raising them in a Krishna conscious way. That is first class. And then within marriage, it is always there will be the temptation to have physical intimacy, even when we are no longer trying for children, trying to have children. Is it the ideal standard?
So
No.
according, we wouldn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't understand though. Like, are you saying that like once we've had our children, then we're not supposed to be intimate with our spouse?
There are different standards and different levels of practice of Krishna consciousness. In its purest form, no. And I'll explain to you why. But as we are on our journey towards advancement in Krishna consciousness, if we are not there yet and we feel the need to have physical intimacy, then one may, we have to be who we are. We cannot pretend to be more advanced than what we are. So if that's where we are, we should be honest with ourselves and keep working on purifying ourselves. Within marriage, physical intimacy, sexual intercourse is sanctioned to get children and to raise them in a Krishna conscious way. If we have physical relationships, intimacy, without wanting to have children, just for the gratification that the activity offers, it is not the highest standard of practice of Krishna consciousness. But how many of us can truly be on that level? Like I said, in my experience, more than 90% of even initiated devotees, they are not able to practice complete celibacy. So most of us are in that category. And we just have to be honest with ourselves that yes, we are doing this because we have a need, because ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithun, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, these are the needs of the body. Just like we eat, just like we sleep, just like we defend ourselves, there is a need to mate. There is a need to have sexual relationship for the conditioned soul. So we just be honest with ourselves that yes, this is a need that I feel right now, but this is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. Just because I'm married, it's not that on the day of my death also I want to have sex with my spouse. No. How are we going to attain Krishna? Because the whole basis of sexual intercourse is that I am a man and you are a woman, or I am a woman and you are a man, or whatever. I am a man, you are a man, you are a woman, I am a woman. And let's come together and let's rub our skin together and enjoy. But if you think from the spiritual standpoint, this is illusion, because we are not this body. We are not this body. We are spiritual beings who are trapped in a material body. So no matter what type of sex it is, unless and until it is according to the principles of dharma, it's going to take us away from Krishna. And the ultimate goal of a spiritualist should be to reach a platform of celibacy. And all the great souls, they practice celibacy. Even those who are grahasthas, even those who are householders. We have to ultimately come to the platform of celibacy, because sexual intercourse and attaining service to Radha Murlidhar in the spiritual world, they don't go together. Hmm? But there are different levels of spirituality, just like there are different levels of math. If someone is in fourth grade, you study fourth grade math. But that doesn't mean that calculus is wrong. Someday you have to come to the level of pre-calculus and then calculus. And then there are higher levels also of math. Similarly, in spiritual life, there are different levels, and we have to be honest. Okay, I am a second grader. So let me try to be a good second grader and go graduate to third grade math. Let me perfect that and go to fourth grade. So spiritual life is about spiritual evolution. When I say that, yes, even within marriage, one should be celibate if we are not trying to have children, I'm talking from the point of view of the highest standard that is expected of us by Krishna. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmin bharatarshava. It's very clear in Bhagavad Gita. And it's there in all religious paths also. All the 12 apostles were celibate. Jesus Christ was celibate. Why? There's a reason for that. Because sexual intercourse is based on illusion that I am the enjoyer and I'm going to enjoy your body and you enjoy my body. It may sound very nice. What's wrong in that? I will enjoy, you enjoy. We are not harming anybody. Yes, it is sinful with a lowercase s. And when we give pain to others to enjoy sexually, it is sin with a uppercase s. It's much more sinful. So we have to understand these things with a balanced mind and make progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. Being honest, just like a student goes from one grade to the higher and higher grades, we have to try to become better and better versions of ourselves. Does that make sense, Bhav?
Yes, the
Okay, thank you.
Thank
So,
you, Adigadana Prabhu. It's so refreshing to hear what the standard is, and it's so refreshing to hear that there are grades and we can't imitate. Thank you. Okay, who wants to speak? Mike and Bima have their hands up. I think Mike is closer to the camera. Okay, Mike.
I have Hare Krishna. I have one question, and I guess two questions. I'll just ask these really quick. As far as celibacy in a marriage, I heard around 55 is when we're supposed to start walking away from sexual intimacy with our spouses. I don't know if you have any reflections on that. And then I don't want to be judgmental here, I'm trying, but I guess I am a little, that when we see people, or when I see people in their like 70s and even 80, and they're starting to date and go for new relationships, aren't they just setting themselves up for more suffering in this world if they're like, well, I want to keep having sexual relationships at 70, 75, and 80, and they're just kind of like missing the mark on, where the spotlight should be. Shouldn't the spotlight, I would hope 75 should be on God, no matter what your religion is. So one question about walking away from sexual intimacy with our spouses and age, and then I guess one judgmental question about, when we're supposed to, really be like, all right, where should my focus be? Thank you. I don't mean to be judgmental.
thank you, Mike. It is said that the first 25 years of our life should be student life, where we go to school, university, get trained, get educated. Next 25 years of life, we should get married, raise our family, have children, give a good, solid upbringing to the children till we are 50, which means our children will be around 20 years old. So they will be also in college. And after the age of 50, one should try to go deeper and deeper in spiritual life and reduce sense gratification. And then after 75, one should try to live a life where we are almost completely, we are living a spiritual life, Krishna conscious life. So that was, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the average life expectancy was 100 years. Now it is around 80 years in America and 70 to 75 in India. But so 70 to 80 is the average lifespan of a human being. And you can roughly divide it into 25, 25, 25, 25. So 25-year student life, 25-year householder life, 25 years, we try to go deeper and deeper into Krishna consciousness from 50 to 75. And after 75, we should give up all material activities and try to be exclusively Krishna conscious. But the problem is, in Kali Yuga, there is a lot of uncertainty and there is no guarantee we will live to the age of 50 or 55. So the sooner we can become serious in Krishna consciousness. And see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what can repression accomplish? It's not that we artificially say, no, no, no sex, repress, repress, repress. It's not going to work. What actually works is param drishtva nivartate, where we actually get a higher taste, where we develop such a taste in Krishna consciousness that we don't think of sex life, because we are getting that more enjoyment, anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam. We are getting more and more anand, happiness from the practice of Krishna consciousness. We're taking darshan of Radha Murlidhar, we're making garlands for them, doing kirtan, chanting, speaking to others about Krishna. It gives us so much joy being in the association of devotees, reading together, attending a class together. It gives us so much joy that we don't think of sex life. So it's a matter of developing higher taste. So that is the sustainable way to give up unhealthy sex life, to develop a higher taste. And that's what we should pray to Krishna. That's what Mahaprabhu prayed. He prayed that Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishamiha Janina Anuragaha. In the second verse of Shikshashtakam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays that your names are so sweet, so potent, so powerful. There are no hard and fast rules to chanting Hare Krishna. But my misfortune is, alas, I don't have attachment to the holy name. I don't have taste. So he's praying for taste. By saying that I don't have taste, he's praying for taste. So we should also pray in that mood. Mahaprabhu is teaching us that we should pray that may I develop such a taste in Krishna consciousness that I don't think of sex life. Can I share one verse with you, Prabhu? Mike Prabhu? I think you will like it. Give me 1 second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can see my screen. This is a very beautiful verse that Srila Prabhupada quotes. It is written by Sri Yamunacharya, who was the spiritual master of Sri Ramanujacharya. Very beautiful verse. यदावधि मम चेता कृष्णपादारविन्दे नव नव रसधामन्युद्यत रन्तुमासीत् तदावधि बत नारी संगमे स्मर्यमाने भवति मुख विकार सुष्टु निष्ठीवनम च. Very beautiful verse. Here, Sri Yamunacharya is saying, Yadavadi mama cheta Krishna padaravinde. Since I have been engaging in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna, nava nava rasa, I am tasting newer and newer pleasure in serving Krishna. This is what we are talking about. Param drishtva nivartate. They're developing a higher taste. So Sri Yamunacharya is saying, nava nava rasa. I am tasting new and new flavors in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So much so that tadavadhi bata nari sangame smaryamane. Whenever I think of enjoying with a woman, bhavati mukha vikara, my lips curl in distaste and I spit at the thought of sex. Because I have developed such a wonderful taste in Krishna consciousness. Nava nava rasa dhama Nyudyata rantum asit. So the whole focus should be on developing attachment to Krishna. Then naturally we will become detached from sex life. And is it easy? No. Does it take a long time? Yes. It takes a long time, but we should try. Nothing good is easy. For example, if someone is a medical doctor, how many years they have put in? They went to 1 year of kindergarten, 12 years of school, middle school, high school, that's 13 years, 4 years of college, that's 17 years, 4 years of medical school, 21 years, and 3 to 6 years of residency. How much is that? 26, 27 years. And then you become a board certified practicing physician. 27 years of commitment, 25 to 27 years of that's huge. If you ask a child who is 4 years old, are you willing to put in 27 years? Then you can put a stethoscope around your neck and see patients. Say, oh, that's a daunting task. 27 years, too much. But everybody is doing it in medical school and residencies and fellowships. So nothing desirable is easy. What to speak of getting Krishna, who is the most desirable? Kamaniya Krishna, the most desirable Krishna. What to speak of Krishna, getting Krishna? There has to be some commitment, and we should be willing to work on it with patience and enthusiasm. Like Srila Rupa Goswami, Utsahat Nishayat Dhairyat. Patience and enthusiasm, we should do it. And this way we are together. And then we see, oh, Mike is struggling. I am also struggling. Mike, let's motivate each other. Let's be together on this journey. We will make it together. So that's why Prabhupada created the society ISKCON, where we don't judge each other, but we accept each other for who we are, and we together march towards Krishna, holding each other's hands. Hari Bol. I think we'll take one last question. Prashant Prabhu.
Can we do two briefly?
Okay, sure.
Prashant and Bhima. Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Bhima Prabhu can go first. I'll go after.
Bhima Prabhu.
He's in Samadhi.
Okay.
Prashant Prabhu, go ahead. Yeah.
So just a quick clarification. I completely understand this, but let's say you're in a married relationship, right? And you have now decided to become celibate and go for the higher level of higher grade. Aren't you kind of forcing it on your wife or spouse then, who are not yet ready? And in doing so, aren't you like sort of being selfish because now you are giving them a forced choice to, right?
Yeah, this is very wrong. One should never do this. In fact, I know at least two devotees where the spouse decided that I want to be celibate, and the husbands in both the cases were not ready for it. And then they took to pornography, masturbation, and even going to prostitutes. So this is very very difficult situation where husband and wife are together, but one is on a different spiritual level and enforces those standards on the partner, and the partner is not ready for it. So actually, even during Prabhupada's time, this happened. There was a couple in Mayapur serving, and the husband used to go to Calcutta and visit prostitutes in Calcutta in the red light area. And the devotees found out. So Srila Prabhupada confronted, and Srila Prabhupada confronted the man. And he said, Prabhupada, what to do? My wife says that we have to be celibate, and she doesn't come near me, and I have so many desires, sexual desires. So what do I do? I'm very sorry. So this type of fanaticism or extremism or being insensitive to the needs of one's spouse is not the right way to do. The husband and wife should proceed together in Krishna consciousness, because husband and wife means you have held each other's hands, pani grahan. So then you should be together. If both of them are willing and they together take a vow of celibacy, that is glorious. But if one of them feels that need very strongly, that I need it, I need that touch, I need that experience, otherwise I'll be disturbed. I'll not be able to do my sadhana, or my mind will be running here and there, and I'll be looking at other men or other women. Then that is not healthy. So therefore, one has to accept oneself, be honest with one's needs, and it's teamwork. Marriage is always teamwork, isn't it? So they should progress together, and there should be dialogue and communication and understanding. Is that okay, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Adigadara Prabhu always gets the most difficult questions on this in this sangha. Origins of jiva, same-sex marriages. Adigadara Prabhu, thank you. Thank you.
No one has
Okay,
asked.
Bhima Prabhu, you ready?
I'm ready. Bhima Prabhu.
Now we're gonna hear some good stuff.
I can only speak as someone who's around other animals like myself. We have to have a sense of humor first and foremost. Can I be heard, by the way?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay. When you watch horses, especially ungelded stallions and mares, they come.
Oh no, Bhima Prabhu, we lost you. Oh Krishna. I think we can kind of guess where he's going with this horses and yeah. Thank you, Prabhus and Prabhujinis. Thank you for your association. Okay, Baba says, do temples accept people who want to go on with their journey only? Yeah, how that starts, you first start coming every Sunday, then make friends in the temple, and then talk to the temple president. And you can't just show up at the temple and tell them that you have no desires. It's first start coming every Sunday, and then do some service here and there. And then Krishna will take you further, Bhava Prabhu. Krishna will fulfill that desire for sure. Karen says, in other traditions, there are practices that help to redirect or channel that energy, sexual energy. There doesn't seem to be anything here that actually helps do that. And then comes repression and frustration and anger. Adigadara Prabhu, would you like to comment on that?
Yes.
Maybe there are techniques here in Bhakti that can help us, like some tricks. For example, going to bed early. If you stay up for those night hours, then lust goes up. Or maybe there is some diet that can help reduce those desires without repressing them.
Yes.
Or anything you'd like to comment on that would be great.
Hare Krishna. So yes, definitely. See, when Srila Prabhupada came to US, he had so many American boys and girls as his disciples, and so many of them were able to um, conquer or overcome lust. And the reason is because in our tradition, the Vaishnava tradition, in fact, it has the best way to control lust. Statistically, if you see different spiritual paths, different spiritual traditions, the Vaishnava tradition, where there is most success in terms of celibacy, and you will see most number of celibate monks in the Vaishnava philosophy, because 25 years of life brahmacharya is celibate. 25 years of Vanaprastha is celibate. 25 years of sannyas is celibate. That leaves us with only 25 years in the middle, where there is a householder life and there is a facility for sexual intercourse. So, and the reason devotees are able to accomplish this, or devotees were able to accomplish this when Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON, is because there are so many channels where this energy can be channelized in a very constructive way without resorting to the base activity of sexual intercourse. In fact, all the activities that we do in Krishna consciousness, hearing, chanting, singing, remembering, glorifying, worshipping the deities, it's very purifying, and it just channelizes our energy in the service of Krishna. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada established deities in different temples. Why do we have Radha Murlidhar? So that the congregation can come together and engage in first class service of Radha Murlidhar. If devotees are engaged in waking up the deities, singing for them, making garlands, making dresses, worshipping them, offering arti, cooking for them, organizing festivals for them, bringing new people to their lotus feet, then our 24 hours are engaged in that way. And then we don't have time to think of sex. Also, like Anand Bihari Prabhu was rightly mentioning, sleeping early, I have also found it very helpful. Reducing the amount of sweets, I have found helpful. Giving up dinner, I have found helpful in subduing lust. Having 2 meals in a day, just breakfast and lunch, and then skipping dinner altogether. It helps me sleep better, wake up early. So these are some practical things that, and of course, what I previously mentioned, our browsing history. We have to be very careful.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Mhm. And sometimes
Haribo.
our browsing may start off very innocent. We may see something actually constructive, and then those pop-ups, suggestions that come, they just take us down. So we have to be careful.
And Instagram also. Instagram also.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and Facebook, everywhere. There's so much temptation. So we have to be very careful. We have to just promise our whatever it is, Krishna will protect me if I don't go into these websites. So Krishna will protect. From our side, we have to reciprocate with Krishna, and we can make a promise that Krishna, I promise I will keep my browsing history very pure.
But
Like it is in your hands.
like Bhava Prabhu said, it's not just browsing. I mean, I go on the boardwalk for a walk, and the jogging is being done in such provocative clothes. It's like the temptation is everywhere, right? So
Haribo.
It is. Yes.
Haribo.
Bhima Prabhu is here.
Yes. Precisely on that point, I guess Krishna wanted me to go inside and actually show you one of the tools that I use personally, being also one of those struggling souls throughout my life. Is, Prabhupada always said that Krishna consciousness is a science. And so I don't, oops, let me put the camera on. If one can remember, so instead of, if one wishes to look at the opposite sex, then one should really, can everybody see this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, okay. So if one wishes to look at the opposite sex, then we really have to have a deep understanding at how we've been befooled in this world with this yantra that we have been ensconced in. This is a picture of a female body, as you can see, an anatomy. The whole book is just about the human body. Okay, I was a pre-med nutrition major, and I had joined the movement just as this. So when Radhanath used to sing the prayers, Sarira Vijaja, the body is simply a network of paths of material ignorance leading to death. So if we can pray to Krishna to let us see exactly what we're being deluded by. And of course, sex life is not just, we are talking about this in a purely physical way. We always have to remember that we are seeking in a partner in this intimacy. All our senses are engaged, not only our sense of touch, our sense of hearing, the sweet words of affection, our sense of smell and taste in having someone prepare food, etc. Our sense of ego. Oh, Prabhu, you are so wonderful. You sang so wonderful today, Prabhu. That's all sex life. It's all subtle sex life. The sex life we're talking about here is literally only the top cream. And as we can see in the movement, a lot of great celibate sages and monks, and even within our movement, how many times have we seen, if we're honest, great sannyasis and gurus fall from such a great height because of profit, adoration, distinction, and fame? All those things will bring us down to where we're engaging in what it becomes so obvious to everyone, which is illicit sex. But ultimately, illicit attention of any of our senses, including our false ego, on something other than Krishna is what is the sin. And it's not like we're being told by the Vedas or Krishna, oh, you're bad. He says, you want to enjoy, here, take, now earn it and suffer, as Prabhupada said, enjoy and then suffer. So this is this is a dual world. Whenever we enjoy, we always have to remember we will suffer. That's both sides of the same coin. And that if we can understand why we are engaging in celibacy, it is not a turning away from the women jogging on the boardwalk or the bikinis at the beach. It is understanding that we are in the grand illusion. This is a grand play where there are yantras, literally machines at work to take our attention away from our internal Paramatma, from Krishna, from remembering Krishna, from remembering that it's, you mentioned, Prabhu, something about, Krishna's pastimes, they're not mythology, as Prabhupada would call them. We, our bodies, our histories, our civilizations are the mythology, because it comes and it goes. It is truly the unreal thing. In 100 years, no one will even remember that we existed on this planet. Of course, unless we became a pure devotee and spread, Krishna's love to everybody, then, we will be remembered in that vein. But ultimately, we are living in a mythology. We are living in these yantras, these machines. We are in the grand illusion. And until we understand that, sex, including profit, adoration, distinction, and fame, which amongst celibates is the next thing that they have to conquer, that if we engage in sex life of any type, that it is simply taking our attention away from our internal life, and that is the remembrance and affection and intimacy that may be developed, which is why Prabhupada said sex life or material life and spiritual life go ill together. You cannot have both. You have to give up one to get the other. So if we realize that we cannot, our spiritual life will be thwarted and muted and covered and veiled the more we engage in the material world, because that's the deal we made with Krishna. We made a deal. I want to forget you. And he says, I'll give you plenty of things to use to forget me. And that's why we engage in sex life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Anand Bihari Prabhu, should we conclude? I think we should conclude the class now. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. I guess he is now stuck
Hare
with
Krishna.
water. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Something came up at work. All right, Prabhu, what were you saying about stallions and horses? I want to hear that part. Hold it, you're muted. You are muted. My favorite part.
I don't think anybody's on the call anymore, Babu.
Once you
Oh,
and me,
they
that's
are.
all right.
What I was saying is that you watch the animals and you see that Prabhupada was indeed correct. We don't stand a chance in this world. It is such a powerful thing. The horses go absolutely mad, and the dog Ram will run 5 miles based on a scent, literally 5 miles. I had to spend $900 on a radar collar to keep track of him. $900 on a radar. Stop, I'm on the phone and I can be seen, and so can you. Anyways, can you hear me?
Yeah.
As you can see what trouble it amounts to, right? So long story short, you see that we are subject to this self-same forces. And when we fall prey to them, it isn't some romantic thing. It literally is like the horses, like the dogs, like the bees, the birds. There's tons of birds around here. I see them at it all the time. So, we have to understand that we're either going to pursue the higher nature or we're going to simply pursue the animal nature in us. And that it is something that makes the world go around, the material world go around. And there's no amount of Vedic injunctions or romantic allusions or concessions that are made within the Vedas that if you get married, it's okay. Whatever we do, that facilitates that higher dopamine level. The more we engage in it, the more we're addicted to it. The more we're addicted to it, the less we are addicted to Krishna consciousness. There's no way around it. They're in opposite polar directions. We either choose the material world or we choose the spiritual world. And Krishna gives us our choice at every moment. And I fail over and over and over again.
Yeah. The choice is, it's not that we're making this choice once to get back up. Every single time we fall, we have to get back up. And that's it. That's good enough. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for your association. Can't stop thinking of that lost raider. That I wish you could get one from me. Right. Hare Krishna.